cloud filled with rainwater, and they were joyful and they were cheerful, and they started worshiping the idols again. Little did they know that the same cloud that they were thinking that that was going to save them was actually a source of punishment from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Assalamu alaikum. Today I will be sharing the video about another story of Prophet, and I will get to the name of the Prophet in a bit. Firstly, I would like to share that this Prophet, this specific Prophet, came after the uh, flooding of Nuh alayhi salam. You all remember in my last video about the Prophet stories, I told about the story of Nuh alayhi salam and how his population or the people living in his area, in his era, were wiped from the face of the earth because of their disbelief and because of their worshipping of idols and such things. So today I'm going to share about the story of the prophet that came after Noah, after all the humanity settled and there were only believers at that moment, because as you people remember, all of the disbelievers were swept away in the flood. So after the flood, only believers remained, as all of disbelievers were drowned in flood water. One of the tribes from the son of Hazrat Nuh alayhi salam, because he had multiple grandsons and multiple sons, and there were grandsons, and further the grandsons' families individually settled in different areas of the Arabian Peninsula. As you remember, the ark on which Hazrat Nuh alayhi salam was carrying his family and all the animals and insects were they disembarked the ship or the arch, the big ship around Mount Judy in some area of Turkey. So uh, one of the tribes from the son of Nuh alayhi salam, named as Ad, settled in the Arabian Peninsula. Arabian Peninsula is currently in the suburbs or in the surrounding areas of Turkish and the border, Turkish border lying around the Yemen. So that particular area, in that area, the people of Ad settled there, or the tribe of Ad settled there. Uh, uh, as far as their physical appearance or their characteristics regarding their physical shapes is concerned, they were physically very strong and they had a strong uh, craftsmanship skill in them. You can say that they were expert in their crafts, and because of this, they constructed tall buildings. You know, we see skyscrapers today, so they were the builders of that era, and they built monumental buildings, not only on plain ground but also on the mountains surrounding the area of their settlement. So there were tall buildings in the plain area, as well as there were tall buildings in the mountains surrounding the area. So you can identify Ad tribe from a distance when you saw those huge skyscrapers. Because of this, because of their craftsmanship, they were very proud of themselves, and they kind of boasted because of their skill, that they could build tall buildings, and they could, feel very proud in their skill. Uh, in the start, they were all very Muslim. As you remember, only the believers were spared in the flooding of Nuh alayhi salam, at the time of Nuh alayhi salam. So after some time, as we saw happen with Habil and Kabil, when they were brothers, and Shaitan came and uh, put a discord between the brothers because of the issue of marriage. So same happened with the people of Ad, the tribe of Ad. uh, in the starting, they were devout Muslims, but as the time passed and as they grew in number, they started worshipping idols. As I told you earlier, that they were excellent craftsmen, so they kind of made idols or put from stone, from marble. So and they started worshipping. In start there was small number of idol worshippers, but it grew as the time passed. So Shaitan was very happy because of his achievement. Allah's commandments and Allah's warnings and Allah's orders were ignored completely by them as they plunged into the idol worship. Uh, at that time, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent another prophet to guide them to truly uh, take them back or bring them back to the path we know as Siratul Mustaqim, the one right path to the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The person that was selected by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for this noble task of herding the flock back to the safeguard of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's teaching was named as Hud alayhi salam, and he was among from them, just like all of the other prophets that were among the people, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave prophethood to them. And Hud alayhi salam started warning them against their transgressions and their activities of idol worship that was against the teachings of Islam and against the commandments of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But as we saw it happen with Ibrahim alayhi salam and with Noah alayhi salam, and in inshallah further stories I will share. This is a certain theme you can always see whenever a righteous person or a prophet from God is trying to teach people about the ways of Islam, or if they have left the right path and joined Shaitan is in his misguided tour. So people generally don't accept or don't react well to such greetings or such messages from prophets and from the righteous people. Uh, Hazrat Hud alayhi salam said to the people that Allah has sent me to you. He was the one who taught you everything. He gave you this world. He gave you your children. He gave you animals. You should stop worshipping false gods. There is only one Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You should obey his commands. You see, if you have seen my previous videos, if you have watched any video about prophetic stories, you can see the similarity in the message that is being broadcasted to the general populace, uh, to stop worshipping and to return to the Rabbul Alameen, the creator of each and everything that is in our universe. So Hud alayhi salam told them repeatedly, but the people thought told Noah Hud alayhi salam that who are you to advise us, and why should we listen to you? And they even went one step further that if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is so angry with us, tell him, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to send punishment on us. Hud alayhi salam was sad and disappointed, but he tried to keep up the good work, keep spreading his message and the noble cause Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had bestowed upon him. He kept working on it. He went to different tribes and he went to different groups of people. He went to the elders of the tribes to convince them. So, but to no avail. There were a lot of people that were against Hud alayhi salam, and they were shouting at him and they were calling him names when he was preaching to them about the oneness of God and to return back to the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Then again, Hud alayhi salam tried a different approach. Hud alayhi salam said that, do you think the houses you have built are going to last forever? Remember that it is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who gave you your fortunes. He is my Lord and your Lord, and only him we should trust. I have already warned you before. If you don't obey Allah, He will choose some other people to take your place. Allah knows and hears everything. So this was, you can call it the final warning from Hud alayhi salam, which was given to the people of Ad, the people of Ad or the tribe of Ad, to stop worshipping idols and to come back to the original or the straight path. But as so they neglected the message that Hud alayhi salam was trying to give them, and even the elders and the major populace of the people of Ad living at that time ignored the warning completely. And as it would happen that as it happened with Nuh alayhi salam, only 80 people or a select few number of people selected Islam at that time. Same was the scenario of Hud alayhi salam. Only a select few people from whole of the tribes of people of Ad started following the teachings of Hud alayhi salam and were his true companion. And as it would happen that Hud alayhi salam realized that because of the transgressions that the people of Ad are committing against Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the anger of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was nearing, and he could feel it that the punishment was upon the people of Ad. Hud alayhi salam realized that a punishment was coming, and he warned about them about the people. He warned people about the punishment. Allah Subhanahu wa Taala punishes the disbelievers, no matter how rich, tyrannical, or great they are. You can even see today that there are a lot of tyrants and a lot of disbelievers that portray themselves as great, as rich, but sooner or later Allah Subhanahu wa Taala will have his sunnah prevailed in this world and in the hereafter as well. Uh, as well as in coming weeks, drought spread through the land of Ad. So, in for the start of his punishment, Allah Subhanahu wa Taala stopped raining in that area where the people of Ad were living, and because of the shortage of rain, there was a shortage of water, and because of shortage of water, there were drought conditions in that area, and they were widespreading. The people of Ad, instead of going back to Allah Subhanahu wa Taala, they started worshipping the idols they had created from scratch, from stone, from marble, and they started worshipping them. And Subhanallah, instead of going back to Allah Subhanahu wa Taala and asking for His forgiveness so that Allah could bestow His bountiful and mercy towards the people of Ad, they chose what they were already doing, and they exceeded in their practices as well. So the drought continued for almost 3 years, and the trees were barren, and the land was barren as well. There was no food. There was a shortage, extreme shortage of food. And one day, Allah Subhanahu wa Taala spoke to Hud alayhi salam and told him to gather his companions and leave from the place where the people of Ad were settled. So after Hud alayhi salam was skipped away from the settlement of Ad, people of Ad, there was a huge black cloud that appeared out of nowhere in sky in the surroundings of the settlement. The people of Ad were cheerful, and they thought that the idols had finally listened to them, and they had sent cloud filled with rainwater, and they were joyful and they were cheerful, and they started worshipping the idols again. Little did they know that the same cloud that they were thinking that that was going to save them was actually a source of punishment from Allah Subhanahu wa Taala. So after 3 years of drought, the storm came, a windy storm. Extreme winds were blown as for 8 days and 7 nights, so that even the highest of buildings and the stable establishments they had created because of their craftsmanship and because of their skill, it was all reduced to ruins. Even those palaces or those buildings they had created at the top of their mountains, they were completely destroyed, and the people hiding in the basements were killed, and the people who were running towards the houses they had built in plain areas, the houses weren't there because the winds were blowing at such a speed that nothing was left, only ruins were left. There is also the same theme that when Nuh alayhi salam was calling people to come aboard the ship, they were running towards the mountains. And in case of Hud alayhi salam, the people of Ad tried to hide it in to hide in their basements of their houses and in mountains, but there was no place to hide from the wrath of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. After 8 days and 7 nights, the ro- people of Ad were completely destroyed, and there was no disbeliever left at that moment in the people of Ad. As for Hazrat Hud alayhi salam and his true companions and the people who believed truly in the oneness of God, in the Tawheed of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, They settled in Hadramaut area, and they lived peacefully after this event. I hope you like this video. It is a little shorter than the rest of my videos because I couldn't find more reliable resources. So to include them in my video. Uh, don't forget to like and share with your loved ones about the stories of Prophet and the companions of Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. And don't forget to subscribe the channel. Assalamu alaikum.